Hi foodies, you're welcome back again to my channel. My name is Navina. For those who are coming across my video for the very first time, thank you so much guys for watching, and my wonderful YouTube family out there, thank you for always coming back to check on my new video. So guys, you already know what this recipe is all about, the special delicacy from Nigeria, which is the bitter leaf soup. Okay, so if you want to know how I make this delicious delicacy, just sit back as I'll be sharing with you shortly. So first thing you'll be needing for this recipe is the fresh washed bitter leaf as well as some goat's meat. So for this, I'll also be adding some cow leg and one grilled mackerel fish. Okay, you can also go ahead and use the fresh one if you have one. So my dry fish, my dry catfish fillet, and my stockfish is not exempted. I'll be adding some fresh prawns as well. So for this, I'll also be adding some sweet pepperoni. So this palm oil is very important when it comes to making a black soup. So salt, seasoning cubes, and crayfish is also going to be added to the soup, as well as my habanero pepper, which is also called the scotch bonnet pepper, and 2 onions. Okay, so yes, first thing I do is to peel off the onions just like this to remove the skin from the onions, and then go ahead and then wash it just to remove that black substance around the onions. Sometimes when you peel off the onions, you find it there. Okay, so yes, after washing it, I'm going to use my knife to just chop it into a smaller part. So this onions is what I'm going to use in cooking my meat. And to cook my meat, I'm going straight ahead to just place my or pour my meat into the pot right there, and then go ahead and add in my washed cow leg as well. Okay, so I'll be adding half tablespoon of salt. You can go ahead and then add salt, or you don't cook it with salt. Okay, sometimes I don't cook it with salt just to make the goat meat cook faster. So I'll be adding 1 seasoning cubes as well as my chopped onion. So after adding the onions, I'm going ahead to just add in enough hot water to cook my meat. Okay, so yes guys, you can also use cold water if you want to. So to make my meat to be spicy, I added 1 habanero pepper and then cook this for the next 1 hour. All right, so the next step is to blend my veggies into a smooth paste. So I'm just pouring my chopped onions into my blender, and then go ahead and blend the leftover habanero pepper and my sweet pepperoni. Okay, so if you don't have sweet pepperoni, you can use bell pepper to do this. And to blend it, I'm adding half cup of water into it, and then blend it into a very smooth paste. So yes, after blending everything, you can see it's finally ready. So I'm just going to just pour it into my bowl and then set it aside. Okay, and move to the next step, which is to blend the bitter leaf. So talking about the bitter leaf, if you want to use the bitter leaf straight from the plant, make sure to wash it properly like 4 to 5 times just to remove that bitterness from the leaf. Like you want to use salt and water to really wash it off. Okay, because you don't want to end up cooking your food and you're not able to eat it because of the bitterness of the soup. All right friends, so having said that, it's time for me to blend my bitter leaf. Okay, instead of me using water to blend it, I then go ahead to just use my blended veggies to blend it. Okay, that way it's not going to be too runny. And to blend my bitter leaf, I section it into 2 parts. So I went ahead to blend the first part because I don't want the jar of the blender to be too full. Okay, so here is my blended bitter leaf. You can see how smooth it is looking. It is perfect. There is no leaf on it. Okay, so yes, so I'm just going to just cover this and then set it aside and move to the next step. Alright family, so after cooking the meat for about 30 minutes, it's still not ready because the skin of the cow leg and the goat meat is still very hard. Instead, I went ahead to just add in my washed catfish and then stockfish to it, and then cover again and continue cooking for the next 30 minutes for everything to soften. Okay, so yes, after 30 minutes of cooking the meat, everything is finally ready and soft. Okay, yes, so now I'm just going to just use my spoon to just scoop everything out from the pot into my bowl behind the camera, and then use the same pot to cook my soup. So for this, I'll be adding my palm oil straight into the pot right there, and then adding my grounded crayfish as well as my fresh prawns to it. Okay, and after that, I'll be using my spatula to just stir everything just to mix it up a little bit just like this. So after mixing everything, I'll then go ahead and add in my last seasoning cubes because I already used one to cook the meat. So this is the last one which I'll be adding into it. So feel free to add more if you feel like adding more to your soup. Okay, so to make sure it dissolves quickly, I'm using my finger to just break it just like this into the soup, and then once again use my spatula to just stir it just like this. Okay, so immediately after stirring it, I'll be adding my fresh blended bitter leaf into the soup right there. Yes, so yes, you can see how thick the bitter leaf is. Make sure when you're blending your bitter leaf, you're not blending it with too much of water, or the the anything you're using to blend your bitter leaf. Okay, so this is it, guys. So after pouring everything, my bitter leaf is kind of thick, so I went ahead to just rinse out my blender and then pour it back into the pot, and then use my spatula to stir it again, and then go ahead and add in all the meat I use in cooking. I want to use in cooking my soup. Okay, so guys, if you feel you don't have the enough money or cash to make this kind of soup, just use whatever you have. Okay, you can use just tilapia alone, you can use the mackerel fish alone, you can use dry fish, just use whatever. Okay, but make sure you are using one of the fish you're using is fresh. That way the soup is going to taste really good. Okay, so yes, from my state where I'm from Edo State particularly. So yeah, there in Edo State, you can use just fish alone, you can use the fresh snail, you can add periwinkle to your soup. Just use whatever you feel you like in adding to your soup, guys. So yes, you can see my soup is very thick, so I then went ahead again to just whisk my blender once again, then add it straight into my soup before laying my washed mackerel fish over my soup just right there. Okay, so I'll be cooking this in a very low heat for the next 5 minutes because I don't want it to get burnt. Yes, so after 5 minutes, you can see how the soup is bubbling, guys. This is so sumptuous, guys. This is so delicious and mouth-watering. So yes, to make sure the fish doesn't break inside the soup, I'm using my spatula to gently and slowly and carefully stir in the soup. Okay, just to stir in the fish, just to get the right taste from the fish inside the soup. So after doing this, I'll be tasting the soup to make sure the salt is okay. So if I want to add salt, I will know, or just to reduce it or whatever. Okay, so yeah, after tasting it, the salt taste wasn't enough, so I went ahead again to just add in half teaspoon of salt to my soup, and then use my spatula to gently stir it just like you're seeing it right there. Okay, yes, and then cover again and let it steam for the next 2 minutes in a very low heat once again. So yes, after 2 minutes, the soup is finally ready. So I'm using my spatula once again to just stir the salt over the soup direct inside to the bottom part. Yes, so this is it for the video. If you like my tutorial, if you like my channel, you want to stay updated with me, like you want to see more of my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell for you to get the next video notification from me. Okay, thank you once again. I hope you enjoy watching my recipe. So thank you, and see you on my next one. Take care and have a nice day. Bye.